So good morning. You guys know I'm still cut off on Facebook. I'm thinking that next week sometime I should be back and be able to go live. But until then, I got to use the camera, and I've been really slacking since I can't go live. It kind of drives me fucking batshit crazy. So I've slacked. I didn't even like look at my card for this week until today, and it's fucking Wednesday. I only have 3 more weeks of this. And honestly, your friend is really tired of shadow work. I ain't gonna lie. Welcome to Witch Michelle, by the way. I'm one of the witches, and we have a YouTube channel. So if you're watching this here, if you could just give us a like and maybe subscribe to the channel. And again, I tell this every time I do these videos. We have no clue, me and Belora, who is also her real name is Michelle. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know how to edit video, cut the stupid shit out, make little chunks for you instead of making you sit through all of our bullshit and just things that probably like phone calls and crap like that. Which, by the way, I am going to silence my phone right now so I am not distracted. This week's card is Nine of Cups. Mental Detour is the subtitle. In the traditional tarot deck, and the one that I use, the Robin Wood deck, that card signifies the fat, dumb, and happy card. He's a big, jolly looking dude. He's dressed in fine clothes, purples and reds to signify his wealth. He's a nice, round, chubby face. He's well fed. The Knight of Cups are around his head. He has got all of his emotional and physical needs met. This man is prominent. This man is happy. This man has everything that he needs. He's doing all he needs to do. In this card, because it's for shadow work, and like I've told you guys before, this is not a card that you would, or a deck you'd want to do traditional readings from. This is the Tarot of Transformation. And I hear that it's hard to come by. I've had people looking for this deck, and if they find it, it's 70, $80. I guess I was really lucky when I picked it up. Or it was meant for me. You know how that goes. The Nine of Cups is called Mental Detour. This card signifies that you're cut off from your feelings and you're living more in your head than what you're actually feeling inside of your body. And people that are that rely completely on their intellect sometimes are very cut off from their feelings. And as I was sitting here meditating on this card today, I was like, that ain't me. I am always caught up in my fucking feelings. What's the deal? But then yesterday I'd had a conversation with the other Michelle, and I recognized that in one particular situation that I continue to deal with in my life, I go directly in my head in how I think things are. I think I know the reason why one person is behaving the way they are. And I am not addressing how the way that person is behaving is making me feel. I'm just looking at outside causes for why. Why is this happening? It must be this. It must be that. It must be this other person. All of this is influencing the person that I'm having this problem with. And it has nothing to do. I'm fine. I'm fine. But I'm not fine. And I'm hurt. And I have cut myself off from those feelings and tried to embrace what is happening with only my intellect. Now, part of that is because in the past, when I get really upset about something, I tend to lash out at people when I'm hurt, when I feel unheard, when boundaries are crossed. I want to fucking rip people apart. I want to hurt them. I want to take whatever I know is their weakest place, and I want to exploit that shit, and I want to hurt them the way I feel like I'm being hurt. Since I've started this journey, I have decided that that was not quite the way things should go, and it was not a healthy way of, dealing with my shit. So I realized that I need to get out of my head for a few minutes and really just let myself feel. Remember, throughout this entire journey, I've talked about making friends with your fear, your pain, whatever it is, inviting it in, have a cup of tea with it, sit with it, and feel what you're feeling and be okay with what you're feeling. Whether it's anger, sadness, whatever it is, feel it, know it. So that when it comes around later, when everything is moving the way it should be moving, because what is life but ebbs and flows and ups and downs? It's not static. Things are constantly changing. When the shit hits the fan, you are not so totally fucking surprised by it that you can't fucking handle it. That you react the way that you did before. Now, let me just tell you, like any other thing in your life, diet, exercise, whatever it is, working with your shadow self and coming to terms with the ick inside of you and working on it to make yourself a better human takes fucking practice. And just like with your diet, or your exercise, you are going to fall off the wagon occasionally and behave the way you did before you started on the path that you're on now. So we tend to give other people slack in our lives for shit that they do and for the stuff that they pull, or we excuse things, we forgive, but we do not want to do that with ourselves for some reason. I don't know why that is. At least that's how it is for me. So I had fallen off the wagon in several areas at the first of the year. Usually happens around my birthday anyway. This year it was particularly bad. I was going to do a dry January, didn't fucking make it through half the month. And I felt really guilty about that. But, we're in a fucking pandemic. And the last 4 years have been a shit show. And it's culminating in that horrible display at the Capitol building. Shit was scary. And I was fucked up. And I had more anxiety and panic than I had had in a really long time. So it was easy for me to fall off the wagon. I had an incident yesterday where I could have so easily done that again and reacted the way that I'd always reacted before. And instead, I took a different approach to what I said and how I handled a boundary crossing. And what was interesting about that was because I behaved differently, the person that was trying to cross the boundary behaved differently as well. We teach people how to treat us. When we all do it, I do it to other people, they do it to me. Whatever we can get away with is how we're going to do it. So when you've had people in your life for many years and you've taught them that this way that they're treating you is an acceptable way for them to treat you, then they are going to always do that. And if it's not acceptable to you, but you make it appear that it's acceptable, eventually that stuff comes spilling out. So as scary as it has been for me to push back when people in my life, especially people that I love, have pushed over in those boundaries, I have learned to calmly say, I do not understand why we are having this problem. Can we talk about this in a different way? Sometimes I don't say anything at all because I know whatever it is I'm about to tell somebody is not going to make a difference one way or the other. Some things I have learned are not my business, and some things I have zero control over. So how is my input going to make anything different? I looked at the Serenity Prayer the other day, and I'm not a big praying person, but holy God, it was like I just read it for the first time in my entire life. God grant me the serenity to, what is it? How does it go? Let's look it up. Where's my damn phone? I can't remember it off the top of my head, but we're going to look it up because it's really fucking amazing to me. I wonder if there's a pagan version of it. Hopefully there would be. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I cannot change other people. The only person that I can change is me. I can only change the way I react or choose not to react in any given situation. God, grant me the serenity to accept those things that I cannot change. Courage to change the things I can. I can only change me, and I can only work on one thing at a time, because if I try to change too many things inside of me all at once, I will fucking fail. Can't introduce new things that you're trying to change until you master one. I learned today about making lists and putting things on one column and then making numbers on the other column of the things that I want to do in my life or put in practice into my life, and then decide which of those things are the most important to me in a numbered fashion, 1 through 10, and the highest number gets my attention. And that'll be the thing that I work on until I get that mastered, and then I'll pick something else. Because if I try to do too much, it's going to be a complete failure. The courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So learn to know, what can I change? I know I can't change anybody else. I know I can only change me. I know I can only change a few things at a time. Some things that I worry about, I cannot change. I cannot change that we are only on the planet for a limited amount of time. I have wasted 6 decades contemplating my mortality since I was a little kid. What a waste of fucking time that was. How did that help me in any stretch of the imagination? I have allowed people that I love, because I was afraid of losing them, to treat me any way they wanted to, until I explode and do all those things that I told you I don't like about myself. Use their fucking weaknesses against them, tell their stories that don't belong to me, treat them like complete fucking shit, try to interfere and meddle in their lives, all of that stuff, because I was hurt. Instead of embracing that hurt and just looking at them and going, God damn, you fucking hurt the shit out of me. And sometimes they hurt the shit out of me because it wasn't my business to help them. It was not. It was not my job to change those things, and I needed to have the wisdom to know that I couldn't. And so whatever they were doing, whatever bad bad shit that was happening that I inserted myself into, one time all I really needed to do was hold somebody that was very sad while they cried. And instead, when they asked me questions, I gave true answers, but it was not my job to give those true answers. I could have just said, I don't know. Life is funny that way. People ebb and flow. Change comes. I'm so sorry you're hurt. How can I help you? Because I can't fix what did this to you, but I can be here for you. How can I support you through this moment? But I didn't do that. So not only did I fuck with that person, but I fucked with the person that hurt that person too. And I ruined a bunch of people because I opened my mouth then to not only that person that was hurting, the other person heard it. Then I called people and told them all the shit that I pulled that happened. And I then inserted myself in some drama outside of that with those same people, just trying to reinforce the pain that I was trying to inflict. What a fucking asshole I was. So anyway, I got to get out of my head and let myself feel. Maybe that's why I didn't look at the card till Wednesday. I think I did look at what it was, but I didn't really pay attention to what the subtitle was. So I knew it was the Nine of Cups, but I didn't know it was Mental Detour. And honestly, I don't know that I would have got it. I would have wondered why the fuck this one came up when it did, because I never feel like I'm not in my feelings, but seriously, wasn't in my feelings yesterday at all. So I hope you have a really good day. I hope I get out of Facebook jail soon so I can do these live again. Please like and share this video if you wouldn't mind. And if you have any questions or comments or things you want the witches to talk about or discuss, please let us know in the comment section. We really would appreciate that. Have a good day.